Hello! I, like you almost certainly are, am very interested in singing lower because I'm jealous of Jeff Castellucci, Tim Faust, Tim Storms, Avi Kaplan, J.D. Sumner, and everyone else. So I just thought that I would throw my hat into the mix and make my own little video trying to explain some of the things that they use and some of the things that I've learned from them, some of the things that I try to imitate with them, and some of the techniques that they use that I've been able to learn myself. And so I thought that I would make this video as sort of a quick tutorial for a couple of those techniques that they use. And I'm hoping to explain these things in a way that doesn't hurt to hear and in a way that makes sense so that you can repeat it. So one of the first things that I learned as a bass is that you actually don't quite need long hair to sing really low. Okay, that's done. Technique number one. This is just chest voice. You know how to do this. Just go as low as you can. So just you start on a note that's really comfortable for me. For me to sing, it's about it's like a B2 would be a really comfortable note for me to sing. Just a B, B flat, A flat, G, F sharp, F, E, E flat, D, C sharp, and then you just try and get as low as you can. Not sure if that C sharp really counted, but just going as low as you can. Technique number two. This is the growl. Growl, I do want to put a warning here. Growl hurts. It hurts whether you've been doing it for a week, whether you've been doing it for a month. I've been doing it for about 4 years, and it still hurts. And so, yeah, be careful with this one. Use it sparingly. And only really use it with a microphone. It's not going to work live. It's not loud. What the growl is exactly what it sounds like. You just growl. If you don't know how I'm making the sound, then, well, I'll make the sound first. It's literally just growling. If you don't know how to make that sound, think of the sound that you make when you're clearing your throat. This is how Jeff Castellucci explained it, and I think it's a pretty good analogy. You're clearing your throat, just the part where you're vocalizing a little bit, that's the part where you're growling. So yeah, that's the part. Technique number three, subharmonics. This is probably the second most difficult one of these techniques to do, actually. It is a technique that produces a fantastic low note, especially when mic'd. It's also a lot louder than growl. It's also a lot less painful, because the way that you're producing a note when you're singing in subharmonics is actually by relaxing your voice. The way that I've had it explained to me how it works is that you relax your vocal folds in a very specific way so that one of them is vibrating at the pitch that you're actually singing at. One of them, by proximity, is singing 1/4 above the pitch that you're singing at. And because of those two together, they produce an undertone that is exactly 1 octave underneath the original first tone that you were singing. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but the way that it works is that if you sing a note and then you do this, then you sing an octave below that too. So if I were to sing a G2, G, you get down to a G1 by doing that. Now the way that I think is the most effective way to figure out where this is in your voice is to talk way too softly, to the point where it's just obnoxious. There's a way of just speaking in a really soft tone that's really obnoxious for me to hear, and there's also this little crackling thing that's going on in the background of your voice That stuff is actually exactly what you want to focus on and bring it out, and then all of a sudden you're singing in subharmonics, or at least croaking in subharmonics. I don't know how long it takes to learn how to sing in this, but yeah, this is subharmonics, and this is what it sounds like. It normally sounds like this when I'm speaking around that register, but now I'm speaking an octave below that. Technique number 4. This one is the hardest one for me to learn. This is a very, very strange version of another technique that people, or of another register, I guess, that people are almost certainly familiar with. Vocal fry, for those of you who don't know, is essentially just this. It's when you're going below your normal speaking register and you're just stimulating your vocal cords in a really obnoxious way. But I've been able to develop my vocal fry in a way that is different from the way I hear a lot of other people sing, or well, not really sing, the way I hear a lot of other people use their vocal fry. I don't know exactly what it's called because I figured this out on my own, and so I'm sure that I wasn't the first person on earth to figure this out, but I figured it out by myself. Put a certification on me. No! First person to do this. No! So this technique is just I think the best name that I've been able to come up with for it is supported fry, because it sounds almost like chest, and it's easiest to transition from chest to this weird fry, but it's different from chest enough so that there's a differentiation to make, but it sounds different from the way that most people use vocal fry, and so I classify it as something separate from regular vocal fry. And vocal fry is something, by the way, that you should be practicing with if you are wanting to sing as low as possible. The lower you can fry, the lower you can sing. End quote. Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. So I actually discovered this when I was trying to match Jeff. Okay, so my YouTube feed is filled to the freaking brim with bass singer videos, Pentatonics vocal range, Avi Kaplan vocal range, Tim Faust, J.D. Sumner, Richard Sturban from the Oak Ridge Boys, everybody vocal range, Clap It Up Dan, everybody. So I've been trying to match every singer that I can when I okay, so I sing along to these videos. I have friends. So the way that I found this, I guess, the way that I found this technique was I was trying to match Jeff Castellucci's B1 in Voice Play's rendition of Cheerleader. I couldn't do it in chest, but I felt like I should be able to do it in chest. And so I kept trying to just get that note and trying to slide down to it as well as possible. And for some reason, one time when I was singing, I don't really know how to describe what happened really at all, other than like my larynx fell out of the way of the note, I guess. Yeah, that's not an anatomically correct or physically correct description at all, but that's what it felt like. I just moved my larynx down and started resonating at the back of my throat. Try and expand the part of your throat where if you would touch it with something, you would probably gag. So you just take that part and then you open it up. It's kind of like if you're doing the Kermit the Frog voice up here, it's Kermit the Frog here. And so try and do that with your vocal fry, and try and resonate your vocal fry as far forward as possible. I try and resonate it around here. So this is what it sounds like. I'll just sing the part from Cheerleader. All these other girls are tempting, but I'm empty when you gone. Here's that B1 in all registers, in the 3 registers other than chest. So those are the techniques that I've found the most useful when trying to sing lower than I should.